Hey guys, Mr. Chenault coming back for you guys. Hope you're enjoying your time at home with your families. Hope you're staying healthy, doing your social distancing, and washing your hands quite a bit. Um, Last week we did a task for you guys on the reform era, specifically the women's suffrage movement. And in that, we talked about specifically three of the leaders of that movement: Elizabeth Cady Stanton, Susan B. Anthony, and Sojourner Truth. We gave you guys biographies of each of these women to read and fill in a spreadsheet. We also saw a video on the Seneca Falls Convention and a brief reenactment by Sojourner Truth with her famous Ain't I a Woman speech. What I would like to do at this time is real quick just kind of go over the task that we gave you, give you some possible answers to stuff, just talk about these ladies, what you might have put in the spreadsheet regarding these three women. And then Coach Kaz, we're going to have an enrichment activity for you guys to do a little document analysis. So let's go ahead and check this out. All right, and this is basically what the spreadsheet looks like. Hopefully you either printed it out or you did it online. Anyhow, Elizabeth Cady Stanton, I don't have her birth and death date on hand, so I'm not really worried about that. Obviously, her contributions to the movement is what we're really worried about the most. And so I don't know, you could have put a lot of things. She was a women's rights activist, but the main thing we're going to need you guys to know and understand moving forward is that she was the leader and basically the creator, the idea of the Seneca Falls Convention. And she was a huge believer in the women's rights movement. Susan B. Anthony, as you read about her, I don't know if she was the first American female to be put on currency. There's a coin with her likeness on it. But several contributions. One of the main contributions you could have had for Susan B. Anthony was that she was actually arrested for attempting to vote, which made her a pretty interesting character. And again, another firm believer not only in women's rights and women's right to vote, but women's equality in all ways, and salaries and wages, and being in the workforce. And in Sojourner Truth, again, very active in two movements: the Abolition Movement, the movement to end slavery, and also the women's rights movement. You saw the video, and that's basically her main contribution, at least historically, is the Ain't I a Woman speech. And that also kind of gives you the speech gives you quite an idea of what her beliefs and ideas were in regards to both, but certainly the women's rights movement. So the women's rights movement, very important part of the reform era from 1820 to 1860. And hopefully you guys got a little bit more information about these three important women in that movement. You guys take care of yourselves. And now we're going to move on to the enrichment activity. And here's Coach Cat.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chenault. And like Mr. Chenault said, I hope that we're still taking the social distancing seriously. And that way we can get back to college football in the fall. The best way for that to happen is to make sure that we are all safe come September, so we can have kickoff and get ready to see the Vols win a national championship and shock the world. What we're going to look at now is the primary source, a document, and we're going to analyze it. It's called a document analysis. And this was about the Seneca Falls Convention. And I'm just going to explain to you how I would analyze this document. First thing I notice is that there's several women. They're getting ready to fall down a waterfall, which seems pretty dangerous. And then we start looking at it, and the first two women that are leading the way are on a document, and the document is clearly, it says on in there, the Declaration of Sentiments. There's four women behind them. One is in a barrel called Suffrage. There's another one with education. There's another one with property rights, and they're all following on the stream called the Abolitionist Movement. Which is very important to know because most of these women were leaders in the abolitionist movement. If you remember, there's books that were written, there's protests that were happening, and all of a sudden you have all of these women trying to fight for the rights for abolition, for the freedom of slavery, but women were still viewed as second-class citizens. One of the things I also notice is how it says, "Hang on, ladies. It's going to be a bumpy ride, but it will be worth it." And so that tells me that they know that this is going to be a painful experience. It's going to be a hurtful experience. There could be bad things that happen, but at the end, at the very bottom of this waterfall, it has equality, and that is what women that were fighting for their right to vote, fighting for women's rights, fighting for a place in the workforce, fighting for just being viewed as something more than second-class citizens. That's what they're going for. They're going for equality. And there's a couple of questions that go along with this that you can print out or that you can pick up with the packet pickup, or you can just look at online and answer them on a separate sheet of paper. And I hope that this helps. I look forward to hopefully getting back to seeing you all, to having a good experience, and to letting this be something that is beneficial for you all. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to email your teachers. We are still on the clock. We are still getting paid, so your teachers should be able to answer any questions that you have. It was a pleasure talking to you, and I hope that this document analysis has helped in some ways possible.